And welcome back to Samson and Delilah's Lottie Antics. This is the June 12 update, and I'm going to show you around. It's not a great deal of difference from the last time. We've had lots of wet weather and not an awful lot has been planted, but we have got some progress. We're in the legume area. We've cleared the weeds from the salad bed, and there we are. We've got some lettuce planted out. The slugs and the pigeons are enjoying them a great deal. Another thing to show you is the bottle house. This is coming on pretty well, if I do say so myself. We have the end of the door filled, and we have one of the side panels filled. All inside has got its raised beds made. I'll just give you a quick show. There we are. Going through to the end. So in here we're going to have tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, aubergines and some sweet peppers, chilies and sweet peppers. So that's what's going to go in there. We just need a couple of bits sides filling in, and it should all be done and ready for the end of the month. So carrying on towards the legume area, like we said, we've got, this bed was full of weeds last time we met. We've got some salad planted in there. As you can see, the onion bed, we've got plenty of onions coming up. There we go. But we also have plenty of weeds coming up as well. Why do weeds always grow? I don't know. So here we are. This is going to be like the leek bed. They're ready at home, all hardened off, waiting to be planted out. Possibly a job this weekend if the rain stays off. And red onions. We're getting a bit of growth on them. We have the shallots. I think they'll be ready to come up soon, and in amongst these weeds is the garlic, which is dying off. Therefore I believe it's time to harvest. We have lots of raspberries in there in amongst all that. Some nice chives which I just let grow because the bees love them. Remember the last time we had the comfrey plant? Well, I've chopped that down and we're having a second flush of that coming through. So let that grow a little bit more, and I'll be chopping it down to make some comfrey tea, ready for the tomatoes and things. I put the first cut in with the potatoes in the potato trench. So here we are, the brassica area. Not a lot. I've got my brassicas just under this net in here, waiting to be planted out. I think that's going to be an emergency job because they're starting to yellow, so I think they need a bit of soil nutrient. They're not getting it very under in those little pots. And here we are in the legume area. Now you can see all the canes are up, ready for the French beans and the runner beans to be going in. I sowed some runner beans and French beans at home, but I don't know what happened to them. All the seeds rotted. So I've had to do a second batch. This is what was left out of the first lot of seeds that didn't rot. 4 runner beans. So what I've tried to do this time is I've grown enough for one side of the canes in the greenhouse at home, ready to plant out. But what I've also done is direct sowed some in the ground on this side of the canes. As you can see, nothing's coming up just yet, but I'm hoping either that or the mice and whatever might get them. So I did the same with the French. One side of these canes here is going to be for ones that I've sowed in the greenhouse at home, ready to be planted out. And this side along here is the direct ones. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So here, remember this last bed, we've got a second flush of broad beans starting to grow. I have sown some just on here, but I can't see that any are coming up just yet. So, but this is the second planting of broad beans. As you can see, they're coming along nicely. Getting nice and tall. And if I take you across to the first bed, that's the first lot of the broad beans. You remember last time we met they were probably the size of the second lot of broad beans, but look at them now, full of flowers. And you see that bee in there? Where is he? There he is. There he is, doing his job, making my broad beans for me. A bit of disaster in the peas. I think when we met last time I'd sowed 2 rows just along there. And out of the 2 rows, I got 2 peas. So, I've sown some more. But, I don't know. What am I doing wrong? No peas. I soaked the second batch as well. Just in case it was, I don't know, something to do. I've read some magazines to soak peas. So, I tried soaking them and nothing's happened. So, here we are. The root area. Anyway, I've got a little small flush of carrots coming through. There we are, it's the first batch. And just along here, I don't think they're coming up. Are they starting to come through? Can we see any? No. There we are. Second batch coming through. So I'll do a 3rd batch at the weekend and a 4th batch a bit further down here towards the end of the month, and then through July I'll finish off this bed with another batch, and they're going to be for storing over winter. So here we are with the parsnips. Remember the last time we met, the parsnips were at home in the greenhouse waiting to be planted out. So here they are, they've been planted out, and in amongst the parsnips I've sown some beetroot. So a few of them are coming up. You can see there, and another one. Just intercrop them. And it seems to be doing well. I think these are looking pretty good. So, and what I've done also is direct sown some as well, because I did that little trick of pre-chitting them, and when they've got roots to plant them out, and I planted them out in some peat pots. I don't know whether you can see the edge of the peat pots in amongst all of this. But anyway, you know those peat pots, I planted the little root into the seed and its root into those peat pots and let them grow, and when they were, you know, about 2 or 3 inches high, planted them out and put a bit of covering on them. So, oh well, that went well. So I tried it again, and out of the second batch only 2 of them germinated. So I thought I'll try a 3rd batch, and none of them germinated. So what I've done is I've tried to sow some direct, but I'm not sure if that's one or not. I don't think so, but I don't seem to think any have come through yet. But they do take some time, don't they, parsnips? Oh, there's Diesel. Hello, Diesel. Brr, say hello. Yep. Happy chappy Diesel. This is me celeriac bed, which needs a bit of de-weeding. Weeds, why do they weed? Why do they grow? I don't know. I've got some volunteer raspberries coming up as well, so I'm going to have to dig them up and put them aside, ready for next year. So, into plot 2, and the potato area. Here's my first earlies. These are looking pretty good. These are Pentland Javelin, I think. See, the flowers are starting to come through. And what I did is I put some grass on these, you know, to like sort of cut out the light. I earthed them up a bit and then stuck some grass on, and see how that went. So they're looking pretty good. I remember I'd just planted out these 2 rows, so we've got quite a few coming up. These were slow coming through, the main crops. Don't know whether they're meant to be slow, but you can see they're now starting to make some growth on this side as well. What? I planted about 5 or 6 different potatoes in here of a second variety, and not one of them, apart from this one looking a bit sad at the end, is coming up. But I think the 5 or 6 seed potatoes I planted just in this gap here don't seem to have made an appearance. What you can see, some there and some there, and these ones here. So a bit more progress on this end since the last time we met. If you remember, I've just had all that finished dug over. Well, I've managed to make the beds now, and in here we've got the second earlies. Over here we've got a bed made with some Jerusalem artichokes. There we are. And we've still got the empty bed there, which is destined for the outdoor tomatoes if it ever warms up. I've brought my gooseberry bush down. There was some gooseberries on that, but there. No, I'm not very good at these camera things. There you are. Hey, a gooseberry. So that's going to be put in there. I think I've put it there just to see how it sits. You know, just to see if it likes the spot. It seems to be okay. Come on, Diesel, out of the way. There we go. And the strawberry bed. That's all done now. So, you see, you're getting a flush of strawberries. There we are, they're starting to turn a little shade of red. So, I think another job for the weekend. Not that it's going to be warm or dry by the sounds of it. I'll have to start netting these. We don't want the pesky pigeons and everything pinching them before me. And in the end here, just for a bit of flower and a bit of bee company, I've planted some gladioli. 10 of them. Don't know how long it takes for them to come up, but we'll see. So, that's the legume area. Hello, Diesel. Out the way. Not a lot of progress made in the pumpkin patch. See, slight bit of digging and a path being made just alongside of the polytunnel, where the polytunnel's going to go. But I'm afraid the rest of it was how it was. I won't bore you too much with that. But a couple of fine weekends, like I said last month, and that should be done. One further thing to show you before I get off is the little path and row of Jerusalem artichokes I've planted in front of the chicken house. So, here's the path, remember? And there we are, we've got a row of Jerusalem artichokes. Just along there, they're looking quite nice. So we're only about 3 or 4 inches when I put them in. So they're looking pretty good. There we have the chickens. Hi girls! Yep, say hi to the folks on YouTube. So there we have it. Samson and Delilah's Lottie Antics garden update, June 2012. I hope to see you all next month, where it might be looking a bit greener. Bye for now, folks.